guys, today I thought I would talk about why being gay is wrong, spreading the good word of the Lord one video at a time. Let's go. 1. Being gay is unnatural. Super true. This explains why homosexuality has only existed in the very recent past and massive gay orgies in Roman times definitely didn't happen. Also explains why nobody takes medicine, drives cars, or uses plastic, because we as humans hate the unnatural. 2. Homosexuality is anti-reproduction. Again, this one is very true. 2 women or 2 men simply can't have children together because trans people don't exist. IVF and artificial insemination also don't exist. Nor does surrogacy. Also, the world population is dangerously low and we are definitely going to run out of people before we run out of resources. This explains why it's the law that all straight couples who get married must procreate within 3 years of signing that marriage license. 3. Children should be raised with a mother and a father. Another valid point, and exactly why we don't allow single parents to exist or for widows to continue raising their children. 4. The Bible forbids it. That's why I personally never wear more than 2 fabrics at the same time, and why churches ban women on their periods from mentoring, and why no person on this planet owns more than 1 shirt. 5. Children raised in a homosexual environment will become homosexuals themselves. Super true, every gay person I know was raised by 2 gay parents, even though gay people can't reproduce. And 6. It will lead to more unnatural unions, like the union between a man and a horse, or pedophiles and a child. This is because homosexuals are not in fact 2 consenting human adults, but comparable to animals of another species and children who have not yet learned their 5 times tables. And those are the reasons why gay marriage should not be allowed. Now, let's take that little sarcasm cap off, pop it right over there, and let's have a little chat about why gay marriage should be legalized. Now, before I begin, I want to acknowledge, yes, obviously I know that gay marriage is not the biggest problem facing y'all homosexuals today. Or just queer people, because surprisingly, homosexuals aren't the only ones in same-sex relationships. Countries where being gay is just outright illegal, like people are still killed for their sexual orientation, which is so dumb. Even if gay marriage is legalized in a lot of Western countries, it doesn't mean that the struggle isn't continuing elsewhere, and it also doesn't mean that other things don't exist, like all the little microaggressions and general homophobic attitudes in the world. Okay, my arms are really long, look at that, we've got a massive wingspan there. There will still be kids not coming out to their parents, there will be workplace discrimination, and loads of stereotypes to break down. These things take a long time to break down, and legalizing marriage between 2 people of the same gender isn't going to change that overnight. There's also the whole issue of why should gay people want to be part of an institution that often and vocally doesn't really want them there. And the general criticism of marriage being an outdated and largely flawed concept. I know all of these things before I get started, and if you don't, maybe I'll make a video about them one day, or you can just Google them, do what you want. But I do still think that it's very, very important for same-sex marriage to be legalized. Firstly, it normalizes same-sex relationships. If kids can grow up seeing that those darn homosexuals and queer persons are getting married and having kids as well as the cisheads, then it just normalizes that whole thing for them. The whole concept of getting in a relationship, getting married, having kids, it's a huge part of Western culture, and the more that queer persons are involved in that when they want to be, the better. There's also the whole point of having that being ripped away from you kind of sucks. Like growing up queer and wanting the whole 2.5 kids and white wedding and white picket fence and being told that you can't have that because the other person can't be in a dress as well as you. That sucks. Generally, this whole social shift would be so beneficial. It will help to stop othering queer people, which will decrease bullying and in turn lower rates of depression and suicide in queer teens and adults. So like that's brill, obviously, supporting that. What is most important, at least for me personally, are the legal benefits that come from marriage. Recently, 2 Englishmen decided to honeymoon in Australia, and tragically one of them died on the honeymoon, and that is like the most horrific thing, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody at all. But after that happened, the man who had just lost his husband had essentially no say in what would happen next. Because same-sex marriage isn't legalized or recognized in South Australia, the death certificate had to say never married. All decisions regarding what happened to the body had to be made by the deceased man's father, who thankfully continuously consulted his son-in-law, but that isn't always the case. There are people who are estranged from their families, but if they're put on life support, their mother or father, who they haven't spoken to in decades, is the one who makes the decision on whether or not to keep it on, instead of their partner for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That is so fundamentally messed up to me. There are an array of other financial and social benefits that come with marriage that don't come with a civil union. This sort of thing just makes me so mad. When I moved to England, one of the things that appealed to me was that if I wanted to get married, I could, and it wouldn't matter what gender the person was. It's just all fine and dandy here. But in Australia, it isn't. And also in a lot of other countries. I could fall in love with a girl and live with her and spend my life with her, and at the end of the day, it wouldn't be validated in the same way as if I fell in love with a man. And that's messed up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a like because I need your validation, and I will see you soon. Bye! Mwah! Also, we all know the drill. I only ask you guys to share my videos when I think I have a cool message to send out, and this one has a pretty cool message, so feel free to send it. to your friends and family. Bye.